favorite pony, it's Melody Snowflake, and welcome to my Life in a Nutshell, which is a little video series I've decided to do to share with you more about myself. Now, I'm sorry if you guys subscribe to my channel for covers and you're not really into these kinds of videos, but I've gotten requests before to share my story, and I think I'm ready to do so. So, without further ado, let's buckle up and get into this episode. So, I'll try not to ramble on as much as I can. So, I'm just gonna brush over my life, briefly in this episode. And in future ones, I'll go into more depths of, certain aspects of my life. Certain portions or parts that I feel like I need to go into more detail about. And also, don't be shy to ask questions in the comments. I'm an open book. I promise I'll answer all of them. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get started on the story. So, I'm turning 17 this year, which means I was born in 2001. And if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you would know that my birthday is October 1st. Now, I was born with an eye condition. It's called Peter's anomaly, and I don't know what it means. But basically, this eye condition basically causes my eyes to be shielded, kind of like they're clouded over. So my eyesight, my vision is limited. I can only see lights, colors, shadows, and I can see other things, but they're kind of blurry. So if people send pictures to me, I can make out certain parts of it, but not really. So yeah. Anyway, I was born with that, and we did try surgery to correct it. When I was just 1 year old, I had already been through about 4 surgeries, but they never really worked. So I grew up with this condition, and I didn't know about it. Either that, or it's always been a fundamental part of me until my mom told me about it. I don't remember exactly when I found out I was different. I remember as a really young kid, I was just like a normal child. At least I never thought anything was off. I just felt normal, and I thought my eyesight was normal. And it was only until I started school, I guess, that I started to realize I was different from other children. I went to a nursery for a little while. There were kids my age that were people who could actually see, and what people call normal people. And I really don't like using that term because I think everyone is, human. Everyone in the world, no matter what condition you have, you're all people. And just calling the so-called normal people normal and calling other people not normal, that just sounds wrong. So I'm just gonna say they are the people who can see. So these kids who could see, I think they didn't understand me. But that didn't stop me from, being a child. I was 4. I didn't really care about being left out or anything. So I just, lurked. I was just in the school and just talking to whoever wanted to talk to me and not talking if no one did. Because I just didn't know what to talk about. And during playtime, I would just play with whatever I could find and all that. But after about a year of this, I was moved to a special school where I studied for 8 years. And it's called a special school because it's a school that has special facilities, special equipment that could help people like me and other students with different conditions to study. So there are people who have hearing impairment, autism, things like that. And it was a wonderful place. They taught us so much. So I studied there for 8 years. I did all the regular subjects, English, math, science, stuff like that. And if you're wondering how I can read if I can't really see, there's this thing called Braille, which is basically a combination of 6 dots. And different combinations are different letters and stuff. So they are kind of raised dots on a sheet of paper, and all I have to do is run my finger through it, and it took a bit of training, but I eventually got the hang of it, and that's how I read. So yeah, that was basically my life for 8 years. I had a few other like opportunities during that time, but they're not really that important. They're just experiences that our school gave students. Like we had a chance to be selected for certain events and perform and stuff like that, like in concerts that were outside of school. But that's not really important. Anyway, around this time, when I was like 11, we had one of these concerts, and there was this group of people who came to our school to train us for the performance. And I remember that around this time, my mom was looking for treatment because she heard of a new treatment that was available, and she was hoping that someone could help me out. So I remember going up to this random person who was training us and telling them, my mom wants to help me to improve my eyesight. She wants me to go for some kind of surgery. And then this lady, she was like, okay, is there anything I can do to help? I won't go into too much detail, but the next thing I knew, this person was helping me out and raising funds and all that. Well, not exactly raising funds, but financially they were helping out. Anyway, long story short, I eventually went for the surgery. And it worked, actually. For a short period of time, it actually worked. For my entire last year of that particular special school, I was 12. It was really good because my eyesight was getting better and I was learning to read and write like normal, so-called normal people. Sorry, I use that phrase often because people around me keep using it. Anyway, after that, I moved to a new school when I was 13. Up to this point, I was what I would consider and what others considered a positive, bubbly, would go out to anyone and talk to them for 10 minutes and not know what their name is kind of person. But that all changed when I went to this new school because if you guys saw my video last year about Anti-Bullying Week, I got bullied. I got into a lot of detail in that one, and I'm not gonna go into too deep of it, I'm not gonna go too deeply into this one, but basically, yes, I got bullied, and it really ruined my self-esteem, kind of. I just kind of felt like I was horrible, that I couldn't do anything, and I'm not making this video for you to feel bad for me, but I just wanted to share my experience. And my grades were dropping, and it didn't help that my surgery, like what happened during that surgery, like it just started failing for some reason. The doctors, I went for a checkup and the doctors found something wrong and they said, we have to send you for emergency surgery now. So I had to step out of school for 2 whole months that year, and that did not help my grades at all. And it was a lot to catch up and I just couldn't. But I still got promoted anyway, partially because I wanted to. And the second year in that school was, I would actually have to say, slightly better. True, I did have to go for even more surgeries because what the doctor did just wasn't working. My eyes got more complicated, more things happened to them. So I had to go for more surgery and step out of school for even longer periods of time. But even though the bullying had not completely stopped, I had a really supportive group of friends that year. So that really helped. And it also helped that I had my friends because I had to go to the hospital in July to undergo some kind of extreme treatment to prevent any more rejection. And if you're wondering, the last surgery I ever went for was October 2015. But by July, they had already undone whatever was done back in 2012 because they just had to undo it. If not, there would be more trouble. So I lost the eyesight I had gained, but I did not lose anything more than that. So right now, I still have the same eyesight I had growing up, which was sad to realize at first, but I've been used to it for years and I'm okay. The next thing that happened in my life is more emotional. I lost that really supportive network of friends. I won't go into too much detail here either. I'll probably do that in a future episode. But yes, I lost them, and I changed classroom, so I had a new group of classmates who were really nice. They weren't really close to me or anything, but they were nice, and that was all that mattered because it was a nice change from being bullied. And it would have been a really good year. My grades were starting to improve a little bit. I didn't have to go to the hospital anymore in 2016. But I had lost my friends, which affected me emotionally, like, really bad. And, I just didn't know who I was anymore or what I should do in life. And, it was a really tough year, even though, like, it was a really good year, but a really bad year at the same time. So, I don't even know how to put this anymore. But yeah, 2016. And it kind of drove me nuts because I was trying to let go of the past, but I couldn't. And everyone else was telling me, but Melody, you gotta let go. It's not that hard. And I'm just like, it's not that easy. Anyway, I got so tired of this. I couldn't take it. And I wanted to start all over again. I wanted to start afresh, but I just couldn't. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to expect if I did try. And I was too afraid because everyone I approached just either told me, Melody, you have to let go, or they just didn't listen at all. And there was really no one I could go to. And I did have friends during this time, but I really didn't want to trouble them. Plus, I was having issues trusting people after my really close network of friends left me, because I felt kind of betrayed and left behind, and they didn't want to listen to what I had to say. So it was really heartbreaking. I'm not saying that I am blaming them for everything. I have to admit that I have to take some of the blame, and for the longest time I couldn't forgive myself for it. But the important thing is I somehow managed to do that. And by 2017, I had decided that I wanted to get away. I wanted to start anew. I wanted to be happy again. So what I did was look for something to do that I actually enjoyed. And I had recently gotten into My Little Pony. So I decided, hey, why not? I've seen lots of YouTube channels. Why don't I start my own? So I did. And I used Equestria Amino to see if I could find anyone who would love to collab. Because of my eyesight and all that, I can't really edit my own videos, so I really needed help. And I have to thank every single person who stepped up that time, because without all of them, I wouldn't be where I am today. I was really scared. I didn't know if I could socialize, but online felt kind of easier, so I tried that. And it really felt like I was stepping into a whole new world of possibilities. And right now, I still feel like I'm in this new, wonderful world. The people I've met here have given me so much new hope. And I can't say I've completely gotten over my friends. I thought I did, but I had a relapse a few days ago. So I don't know for sure exactly when I'm going to fully get over it. But I know I'm getting there. And it's all thanks to the wonderful people I've met here. And also because I've been doing my YouTube channel, which is something I love, and it's keeping me going. And every one of you who has supported me till this point, you're the reason I'm here too. So that's basically my life up to this point. The last 1.5 years have been amazing. There were ups and downs, but you know, life always has those. And I'm sure there will be more to come, and I'm a little bit afraid of the future, to be honest. But what happened to me, although it may not be as extreme as what might have happened to other people, because I've read many stories, it proves to me, at least, that my life is not the end, even when you think it is. So thanks for watching, every pony. I really hope you enjoyed learning more about me, and I will make more episodes detailing more personal and going into more detail on certain aspects of my life. If you want me to do a certain part first, please go ahead and ask in the comments. I don't mind. I'm an open book. I don't mind answering any questions. And speaking of questions, I have a Q&A video coming out really soon, so look out for that. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!